Are you feeling the uncalm surge of revolutionary energy from the stars right now? The Mars Uranus conjunction in Taurus is here to help us break down outdated systems and build a future rooted in unity and harmony. No matter where it lands in your chart, this energy pushes us to collectively heal and manifest a visionary future. Let's slow down, take calculated actions, and live our way back into oneness. Join me to explore how we can navigate this transformative energy together.
You make me feel uncalm and I think I like it. Make me think of a song that I could not write.
So today we're going to explore a rather uncomfortable patch of energy that we've been in for a bit and will continue to hold a bit longer. Mars Conjunct Uranus. This transit happens every 2 years or so, and since Uranus is an outer planet and takes many years to move through a sign, this year's conjunction with Mars will be the third and final time that it's meeting up in the feminine sign of Taurus. Now, I don't know about you, but the last week or so has been dense. I personally have this transit occurring directly on my natal Mars, which basically feels like I'm losing in a fist fight to myself. So to combat some of the density, I wanted to use this time to explore what the energy is really trying to teach us so that we have a place to keep reframing back to throughout this transit. So let's first explore what this is. A conjunction is when two planets meet up at the same degree of the same sign at the same time. Every planet has its own energy to it. When two planets conjunct, their energy stories mix and amplify each other. It's essentially sending a combined, more intense message instead of instructions. So to unravel the messages, we first have to analyze each planet's placement individually. But before we do that, we can dive into the sign of Taurus, since that's the constellation under which this conjunction is taking place. So Taurus is ruled by Venus, the feminine goddess energy that is in charge of peace, harmony, flow, and balance. Even more crucial here than the principles is that by nature, the feminine energy of Venus is a receiver. So Taurus energy by nature is about receiving abundance, receiving the fruits of manifestation and persistence, receiving the highest quality of life, all to get us closer to harmony, peace, balance, and flow. It'll be important to acknowledge this particularly with Mars, the masculine warrior planet of action, in detriment in this feminine sign. This can create a push-pull dynamic between action and receiving. So let's first look at the themes and patterns of Mars at 26 degrees Taurus. Mars is a faster moving planet, and it's the planet that represents masculine warrior type energy. Mars is the energy from which we have drive and take action. It represents assertiveness and the building of systems and creation of structures that are outwardly focused. The lower octave of Mars-driven energy can be aggressive, reactionary, and self-centered. So being that Taurus is a Venus-ruled sign, Mars is not particularly comfortable in Taurus. Mars is a planet of action, and Taurus is a sign of slow and steady wins the race. It's the energy of receiving. These energies can clash and sometimes result in apathy or inaction and frustration. Being in survival mode can trigger the lower octave of Mars energies, especially so in Taurus, because Taurus represents stability, but also at the same time loves to indulge in the highest quality of life. I'm definitely struggling with this right now. When access to any of that high quality life is strained, feelings of frustration from Venus can trigger Mars's reactionary nature. Then the masculine energy kind of flails and it tries to make anything happen, and it can have the reaction of taking wild actions that aren't aligned with the highest frequency or actually the highest quality of life. So this can create discomfort. But we always have the choice. Do we fight the discomfort or do we face it through slower, calculated actions aligned to our highest frequency, even if the results won't be immediate? Which one do you think has the potential for a better long-term outcome? Ultimately, Mars and Taurus energy is about taking persistent action that will result in longevity. Projects we start during this transit have almost a stubborn ability to make it to the finish line. This can be good for Mars as an achiever, but it's important to pay close attention, because if the masculine energy thrusts forward blindly without listening and being aligned to Taurus's more subtle tones, it may all be for naught. The heart of Venus gets to shine through our intuition, so it's important for Mars to be aligned with that, rather than use brute force to push his own agenda forward, without considering the ultimate goals around harmony, balance, manifesting a life truly worth the effort. So basically, anything and everything that can be described as masculine feminine polarized dynamics has the potential to be accentuated during Mars and Taurus transits. Relationship dynamics are definitely highlighted. Things within masculine and feminine relationships, both romantic and also like within families and friendships, can be at risk for blowups or imbalances during this transit. Since we are on the topic of constructs anyway, one thing that really stands out to me is that so many of us are awakening to the faults of capitalism and how broken it is. How the ways we've unconsciously and egoically monetized our humanity has created a world where many are suffering and a great divide exists between our fellow men and women. Through the lessons of the Pluto and Aquarius era, the world is moving into future forward frequency alignment. And to do this, we are stripping down systems that will not stand the test of time. I'm not saying capitalism is going away tomorrow, but I am saying we'll be looking at visionary ways to live in more unity and community with one another. I saw a meme recently that stopped me in my tracks. So it made me think, why do we even live this way? The old saying, it takes a village, is as accurate as it's ever been. Yet we don't even know how to create and live in the village that we seek. Without getting into the politics of it, the powers that be and how we're managed and governed continue to push us further apart and highlight the divide. Because like this meme insinuates, if we bonded together in community, well, we would collectively require less things. So we wouldn't be feeding the capitalist machine as eagerly. We'd also have a lot of power. And man, doesn't that sound nice? Kind of like the kibbutz system in Israel. Imagine living in community with a group of like-minded individuals where we trusted each other, shared resources, and weren't competing against each other for who had the biggest house or the nicest car or the best job. Imagine we all got to do what we wanted, what we loved, and what we were good at, in support and service to each other and to our community. Because it's no longer about just being dependent on us. I mean, some of that may sound like communism, but I don't mean it in the sense of a government or a greater other owning everything, but rather we all in smaller communities own and contribute towards shared resources that directly benefit the community as a whole. Anyway, I'm not saying that's the answer, and I'm definitely not insinuating that I have all the answers. What I am highlighting here is that we, as we awaken to the unfairness and separation that we've created in unconsciousness, aspects of capitalism are going to be challenged. That's the purpose of this energy, to examine how we got here and make different choices. Actually, the 26th degree, where the conjunction meets, is the Saturn degree. So this energy is based on responsibility and accountability to building new, more harmonious and peace-driven structure to society itself. Mars gets to lead the charge and build new structure, but instead of it being based on individual egoic gain, it gets to be more aligned with Venusian qualities of balance and harmony, opening up the abundance that we came here to experience. And as you might imagine, that won't come in one movement, but rather a commitment to persistence of masculine and feminine aligned actions that has the real potential to pay off with a higher collective quality of life for all of humanity. Now, okay, enough about Mars at the moment, because we still have a lot to talk about regarding Uranus at 26 Taurus. So it takes Uranus 84 years to move through the zodiac. So most of it, if not all of its transits, are only felt and experienced about once a lifetime. Uranus first entered Taurus in 2018, and it'll move out of Taurus and make its first ingress into Gemini on 7/7/2025. So as you can see, its transits through the zodiac are years long and come with lessons that are far-reaching and life-changing, both on collective and personal levels. So anyway, Uranus represents the energy of unexpected transformation. It's the wild card planet. Disruption is the name of its game. This scares some people because, well, humans find comfort in the known and fear in the unknown. But part of the beauty of Uranian energy is embracing change and the unknown. It's revolutionary energy. In the sign of Taurus, Uranus focuses on disruption and transformation around Earth based ideals that are getting in the way of humanity experiencing the highest possible quality of life. Taurus is a sign of persistence and manifestation. It's abundance. At the 26th Saturn degree, there is a commitment to transformation that comes with yielding and submitting to the power of what Uranus is trying to show us. Personally, I like to meditate on this, but you can also do this by journaling, getting into nature, even eating an earth based meal like sweet potatoes or vegetable heavy or even a smoothie. But you'll want to kind of purposely slow yourself down. Taurus can be slow because what it's building is massive. So take the time to slow down, tune into your body and presence, and notice the things in your life that are abundant right now in the present moment. And if you have trouble connecting with that energy, connect with the abundance of nature itself. Note with gratitude the things in your life that you appreciate right now in this moment. And simply tune into your gratitude around that. The more you practice this little bit of mindfulness, the more you will naturally attune your awareness towards gratitude and towards receiving the best that life has to offer, which naturally opens you up to receiving more abundance. It's a symbiotic process. Now, I know it's hard to feel this in our current hologram reality, but as humans here experiencing Earth, we are abundant by nature. This can be money because that's a very physical 3D representation of abundance. But if we take a wider viewpoint, think about the Earth itself and how it operates. Think about every blade of grass, every grain of sand, every speck of dirt. Think about water. Think about the sun. Think about how effortlessly plants grow. If we want food, we plant a seed. We tend to it with care and love and persistence. We give it water and light, and we can grow food. It's an everyday miracle of abundance that we have been conditioned to take for granted. This abundance is available in some way, shape, or form to every single human on this planet. It is society that has turned this magic into a capitalist venture. So Uranus in Taurus is meant to transform our views and access to the natural earthly abundance that is our birthright in being human on this planet. Now, I know you may be really triggered by that, as we collectively struggle with inflation, capitalism, the 1%, etc. And trust me, I get it. The disruption that we will see come up here is on offer to get us back into flow and balance, to help us receive the abundance and high quality of life that is our birthright. To connect with the power and vibe of this energy, consider the COVID pandemic as an example. Around March of 2020, when the pandemic was ramping up, Uranus was at the Uranian degree of Taurus. As crazy as the entire pandemic was, and not gonna lie, I kind of feel like the whole thing was a COVID fever dream at this point, one of the positives it brought to us was much greater ability to work from home. Companies are still struggling with this, while the employees are thriving. This is the kind of unexpected transformation that Uranus and Taurus chips away at. Sometimes the movements will be loud and sweeping, but because it's Taurus energy, some of the awakenings and transformation will come with persistence over time. This energy will continue to shed light on and transform in both subtle and volatile and abrupt ways what is blocking us from receiving the highest quality of life. This can come in a lot of different forms, and the energetics are going to be a little different for everyone. I'll go over where you can find this in your own chart towards the end of this episode. But if you're not super familiar with your chart, or if you want help walking through these energy pockets, listen up. So because this is a rarer transit with potential for far-reaching impact, I want to help some people explore where this conjunction might be most impactful for them and help game plan how we can best work with that energy. In the description below, you'll find a link to book a special 45-minute live focus session call with me. In this session, we'll pull up your chart, see where the conjunction is, talk about how it's impacting your life in the current moment, and then take a peek at where you can shift and reframe your focus to be in stronger alignment with the messages and lessons of this transit. Basically, so you have a North Star to focus on when you get sucked into the emotional energetics of it. And we all are getting sucked into the emotional energetics of it. No matter how conscious, enlightened, no matter how much healing you've done, or ayahuasca, or which spirit guides you speak of, there are universal reasons we are all under this at the same time. So the best we can do is use our natal chart energy map as a guide to keep the frequency high and focused on the highest quality of life possible. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in exploring, check the description below and book a session. I also do full natal chart analysis in a written format. That's also available in the links below, as well as the link to contact me directly for longer-term transformational guidance session packages. So now in this conjunction, we put both of those forces together. Uranus with the energies of unexpected transformation to realign us with more harmonious access to abundance. Meeting up with Mars, who is dying to take action to realign us with our highest quality of life, both maintaining a commitment to the frequency of greater balance, peace, and flow. And while as Venus would love to have it, that sounds freaking beautiful. But there's a lot that we have to move through in order to get us collectively from point A to point B. It's also important to note how uncomfortable this energy can feel. If absorbed unconsciously, it can be chicken with a head cut off type of energy. It's reactionary. It's taking wild card action that's linked to fear instead of Taurus persistence and growth, which for many of us can actually be a physical trigger of our nervous system, a big part of what causes the discomfort in the first place. For me, what that looks like is a disconnection between the higher frequency and vision of what I know I'm called to do, because it's action-oriented Mars. But the outer world right now is busy showing me exactly what is not a match for that energy. That polarity creates discomfort and a feeling of insecurity. One of the higher values of Taurus is earth-based security. So when that's challenged, it has the very physical reaction of triggering our nervous systems. So I can literally feel the inner argument between Mars wanting to take action right now to get Venus her security in Taurus. But with the curveballs and heavy presence of disruptive energy, he's literally being asked to slow down and focus on the bigger picture, despite what the current moment looks like. And that feeling is very uneasy. That's why conscious embodiment is so important, because we don't want to flail. We want to see the lesson in this energy. For me, this is happening in my 7th house of relationships, right on top of my natal Mars. So basically, actions I take in this time period are heavily linked to my long-term relationships. Will they include persistence that will increase my quality of life? Or will they be wild and reactionary? That choice is mine. But as I mentioned earlier, if you want to review this together with me and game plan around it, go ahead and book a focus session right meow. If you know your chart, you can run it with the current transits and see where this is happening for you on your own. And I'm about to provide a little extra guidance to help you navigate it. The sky we are under right now is complex, and our charts are dynamic in nature. Although I'm focused on the conjunction in this video, there's a lot of energy at play right now, including a lot of complex aspects. So chances are, even if you know where this conjunction is happening in your chart, you'll find snippets of wisdom in all of the areas. So I urge you to listen to all the houses anyway. If this is happening in your first house, you may be having an identity crisis. I would say don't take rash action in changing your appearance right now. However, if you find significant challenges to your identity as a whole, you will want to explore that. This energy pocket may bring about situations of wild transformation that require your active participation, with the results redefining who you know yourself to be. Now, that can kind of feel like an existential crisis, but it's about realigning with your highest frequency and quality of life. And maybe this energy is trying to tell you to really look hard at that and be willing to allow it to transform. The second house focuses on self-worth, manifestation, and earned income. This is Taurus's natural house. I feel there's a particular energetic push and pull for those of you experiencing this energy through your second. On one hand, be ready for the unexpected in terms of income-earning opportunities that could go either way. Changes that abruptly end a misaligned job, or a new opportunity that can take your quality of life to unexpected new levels. But also, and this is really important, don't jump to take rash action that is not in alignment with your self-worth. Do your best to slow down and tune into your body and intuition here. If it doesn't promote balance, harmony, peace, and flow, it's a no, dog. Thoughts, communication, understanding are highlighted in the third house. Those of you heavy in Mercury or air energies may already be deep in the onslaught of information that's been flowing since Gemini season. During this conjunction, you'll want to slow down and evaluate the quality of information coming at you. You don't want to jump and take action purely on vibes, but also expect that some of the information coming at you may be wild and rogue and maybe doesn't have your best interests in mind. Discern what information is worth actioning on and what is just noise. And also, it doesn't have to be so heavy. The unknown is scary to our egos because our biology assumes that if we've lived through all of the known, then it's probably safe. However, things exist in the unknown that might literally take us out. Use your third house of intellect and understanding to reframe the unknown beyond the egoic representation. The unknown offers us access to all possibilities. So a bunch of those get to be good and fun and awesome too, right? Use the action orientation of Mars to reframe your understanding of this dynamic and your relationship with the idea of unexpected transformation. Let it be fun. Now, in the fourth house, this conjunction may have you in a place of unexpected transformation requiring action in the areas of house, home, family, and self care. The fourth house is about nurturing yourself and others. Combined with Taurus energy, you may find that disruption is throwing you out of balance. The action you get to take is to return home to yourself. Pour your love and attention into nurturing what feels in alignment with the life you are looking to create, and live that into existence. That can look a lot of different ways. For some, it may be a big outer action like moving to a new location that promotes peace and harmony, assuming it's not reactionary and it's something you've been persistently working on. For others, it's more of an inside job, tuning out the noise and doubling down the focus onto yourself and your family. Just remember, whatever your 3D hologram is showing you, the unexpected disruptions are moving you towards a better quality of life, even if they don't appear that way on the surface. And many times, they really won't. Remember, this is action for the long haul. How it shows up today may not fully disclose what it can become over time. You get to hold the note of what you find valuable and important. As we move into Leo season, the fifth house can feel a bit like wildfire placement for this conjunction. Uranus and Mars will simultaneously move things out of the way that are blocking you from your heart-centered expression, while at the same time, it's requiring that you take actions that are heart-centered. This can create a sense of reactive urgency that may have you throwing things at the wall to see what sticks. But you're going to want to try your best to have your actions be in real alignment with the future you want to create. Because remember, we don't passively manifest through vibe and thought alone. We have to take the next best action that aligns with the vision we hold of the bigger picture. So try not to wild out here and hold the note of persistence, passion, and joy. So not gonna lie, this is gonna be a tough transit in the sixth house about presence and embodiment. You gotta use the information this transit is showing you as wisely as possible. I think the sixth house placement of this will undoubtedly have nervous system and physical reactions, even for those very conscious of this energy. We don't want to embody rogue energies that aren't meant for us. Discernment is key. Allow the hologram to show you what's for you and what's not. This can be difficult and may feel like fighting the fire of Mars action-oriented energies. But again, the name of the game is taking with you things that will stand the test of time and increase your quality of life. That also means there will probably be things that you have to let go of. Presence within yourself and your highest goals will help with that discernment. Presence is the instruction here. Allow the universe to show you the way. Oh, seventh house friends, this one has been interesting. Relationships are always the focus of seventh house energy. So while we never place any expectations on Uranus, since its energy is meant to be unexpected and disruptive, you're probably seeing some transformations of relationships here. Keep in mind, this is probably not transformation in just one relationship. It's probably hitting many of your long-term relationships with others in addition to the relationship you have with yourself. If this is happening in your seventh house, chances are it's been building for a while. Is something changing in front of you? Maybe something you didn't expect? Relationships may be calibrating and rebalancing, and sometimes that happens through unexpected disruption. And other times it happens through unexpected diplomacy and support. Taking calculated action to increase the quality of your relationships in this pocket will benefit you in the long run. I know for me, there's definitely some fear in there. And if that's the case for you, or really whatever feelings that come up around the idea of taking action to increase the long term quality of relationships, Uranus energy may highlight this even more right now. Remember to focus on what it's showing you about yourself, as well as what it looks like on the outside. And remember, it's not trying to haunt you, it's trying to show you where you get to apply greater healing and reach deeper into yourself. If you're a person who already has a lot of eighth house placements, you may be extra intuitively attuned to transformational shifts in the energy around trust, intimacy, boundaries, and shared resources. As I alluded to earlier in this episode, I feel like from the greater collective hologram, shared resources are being really highlighted as a topic of imbalance for all of us right now. The gap between people and collective access to abundance may feel very limiting at the moment. This is part of the conjunction and the ongoing energy that ties into the work of Pluto in Aquarius, showing us what won't stand the test of time. I think it's important to be mindful in this energy of the potential to snap and take reactive action around who and what has access to your energy. Sometimes this is warranted, but make sure you're aligned with what brings you the greatest peace as well. If that means a strong boundary is needed, so be it. But also remember not to cut yourself off completely from these energies that want to come in and assist you. Don't let your distrust run the show here. So, having this conjunction unconsciously going on in the ninth house could look like impulsively getting on a plane and leaving, or signing up for an expensive training on the energy of fear of the unknown and grasping for control, rather than aligning with what you wish to learn and integrate more. To consciously work with this energy, you get to allow Uranus to transform your beliefs and philosophies about life. This could mean breaking down the stories you tell yourself. It's not easy to let go, but you also get to respond by allowing and trusting in hope and possibility to unfold within the unknown. And hey, sometimes that does involve an opportunity to travel and or learn more. So if that's what you're seeing and it's aligned with increasing the quality of your life, go for it. In the 10th house, transformation in career or life purpose could present itself right now. You've been under this energy already for a bit and maybe intuitively felt it coming. I think in this house particularly, it's important to be aware of where you may be striving for excellence out of routine and stubbornness that's really not a solid match for the highest quality of life you're looking to live. If you're seeing disruption and swings in a certain area, you may want to take a step back and pay attention to the subtleties of what you're actually striving for. Does it still align with the bigger picture of your life purpose? What actions can you take to rebuild your life structure towards alignment with the highest quality frequency? Do not fall into your stubbornness to achieve at all costs, because achievements that cost you your quality of life, peace, and harmony, what are you actually achieving? You're participating in your own suffering. If you're finding that to be true, the best way to flow with this energy is to simply allow it to refocus you on a new goal that is more aligned with a higher frequency than you've seen before. In the 11th house of community, it feels like this conjunction could come as a takedown or breakdown of certain social connections. I mean, I hope that's not the case. We're already so far apart. But if you're not aligned with the people and communities that support your highest growth and service, it's not going to stand the test of time. It's not going to align with your highest quality of life. On the flip side, this could also be the exact opposite, potentially through the same experience. Maybe there's a new connection or alignment being delivered that will stand the test of time and bring you into greater peace and harmony. Maybe you are in the stages of a process that will expand your community and belonging with aligned souls to increase the opportunities to take aligned action. Remember, anything can happen here. We get to be open to receiving it however it shows up. I feel like the 12th house is going to get hit hard here. One, because it involves healing in the subconscious, but also because of Neptune at 29 Pisces going on concurrently. This can be sweeping and far-reaching disruption and awakening of consciousness in real time. This is happening to all of us right now as we are all under Neptune at 29 Pisces. But with this conjunction in the 12th house, the disruption and transformation of your spirituality and healing potential comes into the spotlight. This could involve actions that have great potential to bring about karmic healing. And if it were me, I would double down on self-care and healing modalities. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that when we heal ourselves, we help collectively heal each other. So the responsibility to the transformation here via the actions taken during this conjunction can be really far-reaching and not only increase the quality of life for yourself, but have a long-term energetic impact on the collective as well. I have a meditation designed to work with this energy that will be up pretty soon, so keep an eye out for that. Just remember, what it's showing you may show up as a feeling of despair and being stuck in suffering, but that's not its purpose. It's showing you what you get to take action on to heal. Although uncomfortable, this energy is crucial to move us through the things that won't stand the test of time. For systems and structures that need to be rebuilt so that we can be closer to each other and in more alignment with future forward collective vision of humanity itself. No matter where this is in your chart, we are all under the same sky. Through our individuated experiences, we are working together collectively to heal unique aspects that bring us back to peace, harmony, unity. That is what manifestation really is. It's not just energetic alignment. It's about slowing down to take calculated actions and truly living it into existence. We are the evidence of our ability to collectively heal through duality and polarity and return to a state of oneness. So,
Let it flow, 'cause it won't stop.
thank you so much for watching this episode. I hope the information contained here resonated with you as much as it did with me. I hope it offered some guidance and some navigational depth for the current energy pocket we're in. Hopefully this series gives you a feel for how I read charts and how this information from your own chart could potentially help you identify and approach strengths and patterns within your own life. Interested in your own energy analysis and guidance session? Comment below, reach out directly via DM or email, or visit my site, sunmoonrisingshop.com, where you'll find my contact info, self-service written astrology energy analysis, fun astrology merch, and more. For daily content linking the astrology to aspects of grounded healing and real-life application, follow me on Instagram at sun.moon.rising.bliss. And for more energy guidance, readings, as well as guided meditations to help wire in these energies, like, comment on this video, and subscribe to this channel. Once again, sending out gratitude for any support you'd like to offer for alignment with my greater mission of service to others. Thanks for listening, believing in me, and having an open mind and heart. Much love, and let it flow, 'cause it won't stop.